less today than when you held it.
I don't know that the title means less. I think our TV is more storyline driven now. I mean, definitely the title is still important, and whoever owns the title is, he's the guy. But I think the title is kind of taken maybe a step back due to storyline.
Right. Okay. And of course, you're a physical presence in the ring, and one of the questions that we got relates to part of your physicality, which is what's the tattoo on the back of your neck?
That's the fighting skeleton. A lot of my tattoos have to do with skeletons and skulls and all that, and that's the war skeleton right there.
How many of those do you have? Not fighting skeletons, tattoos in general.
Well, they all kind of run together through the years.
Yeah, so
I got one on my left arm.
When you start running out of body parts, they all start to run together.
I got two big ones, one on each arm, and then a few here scattered.
You still getting them though? Are you still in the tattoo phase? Because I had my tattoo phase,
Yeah. You know what? Every once in a while, I find time and get the motivation to go sit in there and get a little ink, but I'm not nearly as motivated.
Well,
as
this is probably the biggest question that I can ask you. Rumor has it that you are retiring after WrestleMania 18. Is it true?
No. You know what? I contemplated retirement on a few. I had a couple of serious injuries a couple of years ago, and the one thing that I don't want to be is past my prime. I don't want to be out there in the ring with people saying, you should have seen him here. I don't want people out there feeling sorry for me. As long as I can continue to stay healthy and I can keep pace with the Young Bucks, but I can stay pace with the Rocks and those guys, then there's no need for me to leave.
Some would say that the guy you just described is Hogan.
Some may say that. He's on his own agenda. I don't think at my age or at his age, this would still be the life for me. I don't know that I need it at that point. But you know what? That's Hogan's decision. If he wants to continue on, who's to say? He is an icon.
Toughest thing for any athlete, though, is to not so much give up the money because hopefully you'll retire with money in your pocket, but to give up the 18,000 people that would cheer you because that will never happen again as long as you live.
That's true. Once out of sight, out of mind, and I think I keep a pretty good finger on the pulse of where I'm at. I speak with Vince quite a bit. I question myself. I question myself on, do I still have it? And I feel that I do, but I need other input. I need to I need people's feedback.
You call me, I'll let you know, okay? I'll let you know when it's time.
All right, I'm going to hold you to
I'll
that.
give you actually a hand signal when you're in the ring, when it's time to retire.
Give me this one. It's time
exactly.
All right, I got you.
More to ask this guy. His name is Mark Calloway as we come to you from Fan Access WrestleMania 18. Stay with us. If you're interested in WrestleMania 18, and chances are if you're watching this interview, you're probably pretty interested, you can call your local cable company or satellite provider or Famous Players Theater to get hooked up for WrestleMania 18. We're here at Fan Access, but, the best access is when you host a show because you get access to the guys like Mark Calloway. Fascinating interview. I really admire the fact that you came on and you said, let's just talk, which is great.
That's great, man.
So I mentioned Shawn Michaels backstage, that you had to discipline him and said, go out there and do the job. Was that true?
That's a variation of the story. There was a lot of problems going on around that time with Shawn and WrestleMania that year, and that was the year Tyson was there, and there was a lot of headaches being caused, and it was questionable whether Shawn Michaels was going to do the right thing or not. And, who really knows, but I'll just put it this way. If it hadn't have been done the way it was done, it would have been probably been a very long night for Shawn Michaels. And then,
You're scaring me, and I'm sitting here, and I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it didn't happen, and thank God. And I, you know what? As far as a performer, Shawn Michaels, he's off the chart, or was off the chart. But there were times there where he could be a real pain in the ass, and if that was going to be the case, then I was gonna do what I thought needed to be done.
So, since we're all about being candid and being honest, you were telling me that your job, backstage to some extent, and it's an unofficial job, is to keep people in line. Who have you had to discipline on the current roster?
I tell you, there's a guy that I think that has all the gifts and all the tools in the world is Big Show. I mean, this guy, he's 7'2", he's 500 pounds. He can do anything in the world that he wants athletically. But I think sometimes his motivation lacks. And, I remember it was in Joe Louis Arena one night. He came in and he was cutting up, and, and I think I was probably in a match with him. And he was cutting up and, talking about, I'm going to blow you up, which means I'm going to gas you. I'm going to make you, I'm going to have you out there tired and suck and win. In a matter of 30 seconds, once the match started, not to say I didn't have a fire lit under me, but, he was completely out of shape and couldn't catch his wind. He was hanging on the ropes. And that bothers me for somebody that has those gifts that he has, not to put forth the effort to keep yourself in shape. And also, I mean, he had a problem of treating people.
And you let him know that.
I let him know it real quick, and
which I admire. I mean, it's one thing to discipline the smallest guy in the roster. It's the other thing when he's 7'2", 500 pounds.
Yeah,
but you know what? There's a lot about you that people now admire that they didn't before, because they got a glimpse into who this Mark Calloway is. And I hate to break the story, but you're a nice guy. Mark, thanks a lot for joining us.
I'm working on it.
Hope you come back and do it again.
Thanks for having me. I'd be glad to come back.